everybody, and welcome to the Online Creators Association's weekly live stream. We are currently kind of waiting on Cecilia. She's running late. And we've got 5 articles to talk about tonight. I think maybe give it 5 minutes, just hang out for a little bit while we see if Cecilia gets here. But if she doesn't get here too quickly, we will move on. Is your audio working?
Yeah, thankfully.
Cool. We were having some audio problems before the stream. So yeah, I feel like garbage today.
Oh no.
Very weird kind of sick. Can't really put my finger on it, but I don't feel well. So if I seem kind of out of it, it's because I'm kind of out of it.
Yeah, you seem sleepy.
What?
You seem sleepy.
I'm not exactly sleepy. Now, I first saw that joke as you're a garbage can, not a garbage can't. And I don't know why the one with cannot got popular. I feel like can't was funnier.
Respectfully, but also a little bit of a dig. I think some people maybe didn't get it, especially if you're saying it verbally.
Yeah, I suppose that's possible.
Ooh. I'm going to refresh Twitch because they decided to give somebody really unfriendly color for my stupid colorblind eyes. Yay.
What?
So whenever people talk in chat for the first time, Twitch assigns them a color, unless they pick a color. And every once in a while, it takes it will select that awful red that my eyes cannot see. Because it registers in my brain as pain. So, but if I refresh Twitch, then it picks new colors for people. Actually, I wonder if I click the other button.
Y'all know that you can go into your account settings and assign choose a color for yourself.
Yes, I did that for myself.
My name in Twitch chat shows up in the pink that's in all of my branding.
I did that. Okay, now I don't know if the colors changed for everybody yet again because it wound up refreshing again because I clicked the mod mode thing. Or, yay.
Yeah, Kelly says ginger is a forest green, and I am a fairy princess yet is a bold cobalt, and I am a rust red. I think that when you haven't personally assigned yourself a color, it randomizes for every display. So there's no continuity across devices. I fucking hate just every app's decision to make it so that there is not continuity across devices in terms of color coding, positions on screens. I have had so many meetings where we're trying to use Google Docs to all work on something, and we use suggested changes so that we can keep track of who's what. And fucking everybody is like, well, I'm the green one because green is the color that Google Docs shows you as being if you're the one typing. Ginger says, not seeing that as a place where I edit my profile. I have no idea where it is. I found it once. Excuse me.
Somewhere it'll say something like chat identity, and then it gives you a list where you can pick your global badge and then a different badge. And if you're a subscriber, blah, 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 blah. At the very, very bottom of that list, it says global name color. And I picked a green, for example. Blah, let me refresh this thingy again because Dang it. Okay. Are you on mobile or are you on the web page? Because there's a gear at the bottom that says settings. And then when you have, no, my preferences. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's rude. Oh, if you click in where you send the message, just to the left where it says send a message, there's the icon. When you hover over it, it states chat identity. When you single left click on chat identity, it brings up a bunch of stuff. It doesn't look like the box scrolls, but I assure you the box scrolls, and at the bottom of that box, global name color.
How's everybody doing with that? Anybody found the setting yet?
I was gonna say, like, that's okay. Maybe I'll turn my camera around. Can I turn my camera? Hold on.
I mean, it's not that important. I'm just trying to keep vamping.
Right here.
Blythe found it.
Yay. All right. Oh, where did I have that before?
All right. Should we keep vamping or should we start reading an article?
So yeah, I think now is a good time to start an article and let's go from there.
All right. Up first tonight, we have Biden allegedly slow-walking TikTok investigation. GOP demands answers. This is a National Review. I have no idea what National Review is.
Oh, God.
Just going to check real quick. Conservative news, opinion, and politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I care about this article. Business Insider is not letting me read the Business Insider article.
So, and again, off topic, but on topic to that, I do rather trust the website called mediabiasfactcheck.com that when you plug in almost all of these big places, like it will give a rating. Apparently, they do post mostly factual, not highly factual, but mostly factual content. Not, again, not endorsing, just stating, but they are definitely right wing.
Hi, Story. I mean, I'm not worried about whether it's factual. Like it literally, Wikipedia describes it as a conservative editorial magazine, which means it's just a magazine that is designed to promote conservative opinions and readings of text. So, like, the facts may be real, but like the way that the facts are structured is like literally the article is just complaining that Biden is doing things.
How dare he? Existing in this economy.
Unconscionable. TikTok showing child sexual abuse videos to content moderators. According to Forbes, a largely unsecured cache of pictures of children as being sexually exploited has been made available to third-party TikTok content moderators as a reference guide. Shit. Chinese short-form video app TikTok reportedly shows sexually exploitative videos of kids as part of its content moderators training, the media reported. According to Forbes, a largely unsecured cache of pictures of children being sexually exploited has been made available to third-party TikTok content moderators as a reference guide. These parents don't know that we have this picture, this video, this trauma, this crime saved. If parents knew that, I'm pretty sure they would burn TikTok down, Whitney Turner, a former moderator for TikTok, was quoted as saying in the report that came out on Friday. Turner worked for a third-party moderation company, Teleperformance's TikTok program in El Paso, Texas. She was given access to a shared spreadsheet filled with material determined to be violative of TikTok's community guidelines, including hundreds of images of children who were naked or being abused. The document called Daily Required Reading was widely accessible to employees at Teleperformance and TikTok as recently as this summer. Sources told Forbes that hundreds of people across both companies had free access to the document. The DRR and other training materials were stored in Lark, internal workplace software developed by TikTok's China-based parent company ByteDance, the report noted. Whitney even reported this to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, but to no avail. A TikTok spokesperson said the training materials have strict access controls and do not include visual examples of CSAM, child sexual abuse material. However, the spokesperson said that it works with third-party firms who may have their own processes. Teleperformance also denied that it showed employees sexually exploitative content. The report mentioned that Teleperformance showed employees graphic photos and videos as examples of what to tag on TikTok. I have a daughter, and I don't think it's right. Just a bunch of strangers watching this, another former Teleperformance employee, Nasser, was quoted as saying. That's the end of that article.
So I'm going to make one comment that sounds absolutely awful, but just bear with me for a moment, is that there are some corner cases that are actual child exploitation that are very hard to understand unless you are given an actual example. In that, if that very small, very specific case, because everything else should be obvious, right? If that in that very small specific case, so long as they're like blurring out objects to be like as much privacy as possible, and maybe I can understand them thinking that that was an appropriate step to go to, but legally speaking, it is not legal to keep that information at all. It needs to be deleted immediately. Like, it is against the law to retain any of that. So I'm kind of wondering if the people there, like, again, because TikTok loves to just reinvent the wheel, like, this is stuff that almost 20 years ago I knew was not legal. Like, you delete it off the internet as fast as possible, try to send it to authorities, but authorities are like, well, we have no way to hunt these people down. So then it's just like, well, you have the evidence, figure it out when you've got time, and then that's it. But otherwise, yeah, no, that is extremely upsetting.
Kelly says, I was
do
going
not
to see, are they
understand.
blurring faces or whatever? Are they warning people beforehand with the option to refuse? I assume they would have mentioned blurring faces if they were blurring faces in the article, and it's called the daily required reading, so I'm going to guess that it's required daily.
Yeah.
Also, regarding the edge cases, do you think the edge cases are worth hundreds of images?
And again, as each edge case is reviewed, it should then be removed, because, like, again, you're not supposed to keep it around. But at the same time, I do understand maybe keeping an example, or like the most recent example, and just keep it like going.
Right.
I don't
Well,
know how to explain what's on my mind, but like, yeah, like, I remember there
am
was
I
some stuff.
correct in my impression that hundreds is an indefensible number?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I cannot
Okay.
imagine keeping more than like maybe 5 examples. Like, unless, I hate that it's so disgusting that I think like out of the box with this bullshit. But anyway, like, maybe there's other fresh new ways. Oh, God, I need to take a shower after this. That people are exploiting people in a way that is not like overt. Because I do also remember, for example, there was a huge issue on YouTube a few years back. It didn't seem like these children were being abused in these videos, but these videos of children just existing in sometimes even just like fully clothed, it it was actually sexual exploitation of minors. And it took a long time for people to understand why did these particular videos of children just like sitting there fully clothed playing with toys have millions of views. And basically there was a bunch of comments in the comment section where coded language was used, and they were giving each other contact information basically in the open to then take it off platform and distribute the other type, the more offensive kind, because they knew they couldn't. So it's just a way for them to find each other. Anyway,
Do we have anything else to say on this topic, or do we want to move on?
I'm ready to move on because it's such a difficult topic. Like I want to help get it off the internet. I've been doing it for like a long time, but it's also hard to have those conversations because gross.
One of the other articles is the same story.
Okay.
Okay, we are down to our last story.
Hell yeah.
Because two of them were the same story with different headlines.
Oh.
One of them was behind a paywall, and one of them was conservative propaganda.
Right.
TikTok launches new ad targeting transparency tools to help users manage how their data is used in the app. TikTok's looking to give users more insight into how their personal data is being used for ad targeting in the app with the addition of a new About This Ad info panel that outlines all of the various targeting elements that TikTok has used to display each ad to each user. We're introducing a new About This Ad feature, so users will be able to tap on any ad in their feed and view some reasons why we're showing this particular ad to them. This is another step we're taking to bring more transparency into our advertising practices and help users understand how ads work on TikTok. As you can see in the above example sequence, now you'll be able to see more info. What?
Kelly asks, LOL, why would I tap on an ad? I'm like, yes, mood.
As you can see in the above example sequence now, you'll be able to see more info about the ad that you're shown in the app by tapping on the About This Ad button in the ad info screen. There, you'll also be able to switch off ad personalization based on third-party data, though whether it's on or off, TikTok will still be able to use your in-app activity in its ad targeting processes. The update will move TikTok to TikTok more in line with other social apps, which offer similar ad transparency features. Though it's worth noting that TikTok has been working to continue utilizing personalized ad tracking in various ways, despite regulations and restrictions around such getting tighter in certain regions. Last month, TikTok was forced to suspend a planned change to its privacy policy relating to the use of user insights for targeted advertising, amid questions over whether the change is actually legal under the latest EU provisions for data protection and control. The planned update would have seen the app do away with asking users for their consent to run personalized ads, with TikTok seeking to process such data under what is essentially a legal loophole in this respect, via the provision for legitimate interest. By implying that personalized ads fell under legitimate interest grounds, TikTok was seeking to circumvent the EU e-privacy directive, but authorities called for review of the process before it could go into effect. In other words, while on the one hand TikTok is looking to be more upfront about how your personal information is being used for ad targeting, on the other, it's seeking to avoid restrictions on such through questionable means. European authorities will now need to review TikTok's case before it can go ahead with the change. In addition to the new About This Ad element, TikTok also launched an updated ad data usage overview to help users understand how they can be targeted with ad content, while users can also now choose whether the ads they're shown are based on estimates of their interests and/or gender. For example, users can choose to turn off the interest category beauty, so they will receive fewer ads that target to match this interest. Users can change their gender setting or input any gender of their choosing. These updates can be changed at any time in the app and apply only to the user's ad settings, which does not affect other TikTok services. So again, this brings TikTok more into line with other apps, which already offer similar to ad data control options, which could help ensure more relevant ads are shown to TikTok users, while also giving users more capacity to manage how they're targeted with such in the app. It's a good update, though it will be equally interesting to see how TikTok works to manage its other data mitigation efforts to avoid the full impact of Apple's ATT update and other control measures. TikTok should give users more control, but the app is also developing a reputation for questionable activity in counter to accepted moderation and data usage parameters.
I did find it interesting that because you mentioned that you can now edit to a custom gender under the ad settings only.
Yep.
Um, so I went to go look at it because I was curious, and then I started like removing myself from because like I had been wondering. Well, okay. Respectfully, I am friends with a couple of parents. I know it's shocking. I'm glad I'm in such a safe space to talk about that part. But they keep showing me parenting ads, and I'm just kind of like, I have a cat. I'm 40. I'm asexual. I will not be having children. You have reached the wrong audience. Please check the number and dial again. Um, I took myself out of that category and like two others because it's totally not relevant to me. And I'm like, why wasn't that there originally? Like places like Facebook have, again, this is just TikTok reinventing the wheel with literally every single piece of social media, everything. Why is this only happening now? Blows my mind.
I am going to guess that the reason TikTok didn't want to do it is because people do shit like what I did, which was turn off every category except for cars and sports, so it'll be easier to tell which things are ads, so I can swipe past them faster.
See, that's smart thinking kind of stuff too that I would never think of it, and I'd also be nervous that it's going to actually mess up my algorithm. Because especially if they're doing more of that. I'm sorry, I can't talk about it without laughing anymore. The native advertising stuff, um,
Mm.
where it doesn't really look like an ad, but you're definitely watching an ad. But here it's just that one little tag at the bottom that just says either paid promotion or
Sponsored.
sponsored. Thank you, and then that's it.
Mm.
I also really appreciate the conversation in chat.
I'm seeing from a data perspective, it's interesting, but also I'm never on the FYP because of ads, and Ginger will get us. Ginger and I will get us. Ginger, I will get. I. That's referring back to the earlier conversation that I'm
Yes,
parsing right now. My brain isn't working.
that's okay.
TikTok is convinced I'm a trans. TikTok is convinced I'm a trans woman who likes Bionicles because two of my best friends are trans women who like Bionicles, and I send them videos about being a trans woman who likes Bionicles. Uh, can recommend getting the fried pickles at most establishments. Don't understand that comment. Um, thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Hal. Or Call. Can't remember. I'm actually totally okay with mutuals doing SpawnCon in their styles in order to get that money, but regular ads not. Um, anytime, Blythe. And by any time, I mean when I am sick and exhausted, because that is when I hit the deadpan that is your baseline.
But you can always spice it up by just saying "fuck you."
In my the video I posted yesterday, a collaboration with Alana, I told Alana to shut the fuck up, and somebody in my comments wrote, "Please say shut the fuck up more."
Oh my
Dead pandering.
god. Oh my god.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Light says I am haunted by my own deadpan. Everyone assumes I'm being sarcastic at all times. People assume I'm being sincere way more often than they should. I have on several occasions been responsible for like significant things happening because I made a joke and everybody in the room thought it was a proposal for an idea and ran with it. I once accidentally founded a film festival.
That's a lot. An entire film festival?
Mm.
Okay, so listen here. You just need a haircut and get the port wine hair color, and then you're set.
I don't think that changes your tone of voice.
No.
Kelly says I'm caught in my own deadpan a lot too. I think I'm making a joke, but it doesn't hit right, and then I have to explain it and dig a hole under the ground to hide in. Blight
It's
says I have
like
a TX wig.
See, this is one of those things also that honestly I feel like comedy duos are like really important sometimes. Like if you are, in one of those like comedy duos where somebody is just like really bubbly and humorous and the other person is that kind of deadpan humorous, you need somebody to bounce that off of it who gets it. Very Laurel and Hardy, who's on first?
I mean, like I see what you're saying. I also think that like that the impression of that dynamic emerges no matter which two people you put on the stage. Like, if any given two people have chemistry, then when you see them performing together, you will get a sense of the like vague extremes they both seem to occupy and how different they both seem to be. Like, think of John and Hank Green. Think about like how different John and Hank Green are, really. Like,
But that's cheating because brothers. Like
I mean,
there are some days too where I'm like I wish I could just sit my sister down here and have a conversation because y'all would be like, oh.
I don't think that it's cheating because they work as a duo, as a double act. Like, the fact that there is an explanation for why they are so similar does not change the fact that they are very similar, but still manage to hit that binary opposite characters trope.
I see now. And I think we were having a slightly different conversation. Well, I know I was certainly off on a different path because like having a kind of humorous conversation with somebody like my sister, right? Like I've half of her sense of humor, I literally raised her to have,
Mm-hmm.
right? So she gets my humor. So I can just say bonkers shit and she's just like, oh yeah, it's blah, 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 right? Like that. It's just that kind of really long term, if a person's been with another person like really, really long term, there's a lot that's how I see John and Hank Green is, because they like grew up together and they've known each other for so long, there is just roughly an infinite amount of combinations of conversations that they can have where they can keep that kind of dynamic and humor going
Mm-hmm.
versus like if we were to try to do that same kind of thing, like we have a lot of references, both pop culture and like actual conversations, but the actual depth of additional jokes that I could have with my sister because we've known each other so much longer, like that's where my brain was at.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
And that's what I see in them. I see my sister and I in them, and that's why I project real hard.
No, I think you're right. Like, being family with someone does increase the likelihood that you will develop a really strong rapport that will work on stage. But I do think that like when we talk about like we often imagine that double acts have to have this very strong binary where like one person is very far on one extreme and the other person is very far on the other extreme. And I
Oh,
think what overwhelmingly is more often the case is that it's two very similar people who play off the subtle differences between them in really effective ways.
I get it too because it's like because that's that dynamic between like a group or the pairing of like Laurel and Hardy versus oh shit. Penn and Teller.
watching, or is this coming out of nowhere for you?
It's coming out of fucking nowhere for me.
Good.
I was just escaped transit hell. Because New Jersey is the bad place. So what are we talking about?
Without any additional context, name your favorite comedic pair, like pairing.
A comedic pairing in general.
Yeah, two people. For context, we talked about Hank Green and John Green, and then like Laurel and Hardy and like Penn and Teller. I forgot their names again.
I feel that Troy and Abed, Danny Pudi, and Donald Glover are perhaps like some of the best on-screen chemistry anyone has ever lucked into in history. Yeah, I think they needed to do more together and didn't get the chance to.
We had 5 articles tonight.
Yeah.
One of them turned out to be conservative propaganda. One of them was another organization covering the same story as one of the other ones, and one of them was behind a paywall. We've already discussed the 2 articles we had tonight.
We're doing so well.
Jeez.
And I have checked the TikTok newsroom. We can check it out if you want, but it's just them announcing like event things, like the last substantial story we covered last week.
I would actually, so since we have so much time, so I've been doing the 10K summer break where I don't post for the entire summer, which was a protest sort of organized by the user Tori Bay, who is lovely. And if you want to find out more, you should go and look at her things because she will explain it better than I will off the cuff as I'm still like decompressing from being transit for 2 hours. What that has meant is that TikTok has been going through many stages of grief about me because I think it thinks it might be losing me as a user. And it's been acting in really interesting ways. And I think it both has implications for how we can tell people to like reset if they're feeling like TikTok is not working for them, how to like sort of hard reset TikTok. And the answer is if you don't use TikTok consistently for 2 weeks solid, it will start showing you the people that you follow and your mutuals, especially on the For You page. It's suddenly like, hey, we don't want to lose you. Here's all of the people that you like. Suddenly, it showed me the things that I liked. 4 weeks in, it was really scrambling. 4 weeks in, I liked, generally speaking, a couple of things that came up on my For You page about Stranger Things. And then, like, it was like when it was back in 2018. And I could see the gears turning of like, oh, she likes this. We should give her more of this to keep her on the app. And it was literally 9 or 10 videos about Stranger Things in a row, 1 dog video, and like 10 more Stranger Things videos. And they weren't even super high-like videos. It wasn't like the most popular content. It was really honing in on like, here's some hashtags that you've engaged with recently. Please do not leave the app.
Blake,
that continued for days.
I feel like it has to be actual people, not characters. Like any 2 given actors could have wildly varying chemistry playing Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
I think Rosencrantz. I would count Rosencrantz and Guildenstern in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
Versus, yeah, no, I assumed that. I assumed we weren't talking about Rosencrantz and Guildenstern in Hamlet.
Anyway, now it's been 6 solid weeks of me just like barely clinging to the app at all. It's wild out there for me. It started throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I have been getting some of the funniest things I've ever seen on TikTok. But that's simply because it remembers that the thing at some point. I think it's either throwing things at the wall to sticks, or it is starting to reference what my favorites are, of which I only have 2 folders: effort and chaos. where it's either someone put a lot of effort into this and I love it, or this was a perfectly timed video at a perfectly timed moment. Like the video someone took of a car on fire outside of the Olive Garden, and just very quietly behind the camera said, I guess you could say things are getting lit here. And that's the whole video. And I don't know why the car is on fire in front of the Olive Garden. And I don't know what's happening.
See,
but that's the kind of video now.
What does it say about my life that I need to know which part of the car was on fire?
It was the engine.
Okay.
Which is
if it was the trunk, I have a story.
But yeah, it's been interesting to see the ways in which the app is like protecting itself.
So, and here's the thing too that I have to ask. So you mentioned Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I was getting positively fucking bombarded with Stranger Things about a month ago. Was that about when it was happening? I think the app was trying to entice me to send it to you, because you know that the app will do that sometimes. The app will literally send some of your friends shit so that you will send it to them.
It's baiting me.
The app knows that my one friend loves cute child videos, because he'll send them to me on occasion. And occasionally the FYP will send it to me to send it to him. And I go, this was meant for you. And he goes, oh shit, it was. If you've never noticed that, it's very interesting. So I didn't know that the message wasn't meant for me, because that was when Stranger Things.
I mean, here the content was
out, but like
the content was trending in general. Like there was no way to avoid it. But it was just the weirdness of it being literally every single video after liking a certain number, every single one, including pointing me to the author of a fan fiction I had just finished reading, which was wild. I want to be their friend.
You and my friend, between you and my friend Reb, I'm getting so much fucking fanfic videos, and I'm just like, I'm sending this to no one. Please, please. I'm just waiting for the algorithm to realize that I care, but I don't care. Like there's a difference. Hello, puppy.
Rude, Matt. I haven't been home and you're upset. I get it. I'm sorry, bud. Yeah, but no, that's exactly it. Here is a carrot to dangle in front of your friends. I did not even conceive of that as a thing that it would be doing. I mean, I certainly, like, I was encountering the Stranger Things content. I was sending it to my friends as well. I just get the sense that was trending.
Yeah.
And that was the other half of it.
Two had come out, or the second half of the most recent season. But yeah, because like the way that I really was figuring that out was about a year and a half ago. The FYP was like showing me so much Warhammer content, and I finally asked a friend, what the fuck even is this? Because I don't want to Google it, because I want to know, but I don't want to know. I want the concise TLDR that I know someone could custom tailor for me. And they're like, oh yeah, this is what it is. I'm like, oh, lots of Magic the Gathering and like D&D people like this game too, don't they? Yeah, why? It's nothing, just algorithm things. It's fine. Completely normal conversation.
What I think is less that it's sending you things to send to other people, and more it's seeing that you exist in a content bubble with these people who share these interests, and it's wondering if you are also interested in this thing that everyone else in your content bubble is interested in.
And it's like, because again, it's so interesting though, because it worked so hard to try to force me to get interested in it. And I'm just like, okay, look, if you're not getting me into it with like elves or dragons or rainbows, you can just stop. Like, unless there's something just incredibly miraculous about whatever it happens to be, like you're barking up the wrong tree.
Oh, sorry, I have to adjust.
I wish I could remember the other thing that
but so anyway, the lesson of all of this is, if you feel like TikTok is just acting strange and not working right for you, consider not engaging with it as much for 2 weeks, because suddenly you will come back and it will be feeding you all of the people you followed, every single one of them, which has been crazy because I follow way too many people at like over 550 at this point.
I
But
don't log into the app very often anymore, and I pretty much only get content from people I follow.
I think this is perhaps a solution for people who are like, I'm just not liking the content I'm getting fed anymore. It's like, just use it less. And TikTok, what this indicates to me is that TikTok could always be feeding you content from people that you follow, and they don't.
Okay, here's the thing though.
Strategy.
I'm not using the app as much anymore. And a non-trivial part of that is because just because I followed someone doesn't mean I want to see everything they have to say.
That's fair.
And
You don't want to
sometimes
see
I
my
would
like
like to
200
receive
cat
the fun
videos.
memes from elsewhere on the internet, from people I like but don't want to follow.
Oh my
That's
god! Like,
fair.
speaking of, there are so many creators that I do not follow because I've tried following them, and the second that I follow them, I never see a video again. I unfollow them and I start seeing their content again. I hate it. I read the wrong thing. Wait,
The
does
answer
this mean
is yes.
TikTok has a neglect kink? I mean,
It wasn't me that time, it was Ginger.
kind of. If you ever really also want to see that, like, if you want like a really easy like thing to do, that to just see the app absolutely fucking panic, and I love doing this, is I will go through like following sprees. Like, people will be like, follow this person, and it just like, every couple of months, then I will go back through and determine, have I seen their content? Do I actually like their content, or did I just follow because I'm a nice person and wanted, da 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 da. Go through your following page and like delete everybody off who like, if you have any banned accounts, delete those off. If you're just like, okay, like, I'm either not into this anymore, this person stopped, whatever, delete off like 20, 30, 40 or more people at a time. Oh my god, I could not believe how drastically within like 2 hours of doing that, the app panicked and threw me so much content, and I was like, I will always be just so surprised. I will tell that story 100 times. Anyway,
I mean, it's not surprising at all. It's seeing something going wrong with a user and it's trying to correct it.
I also still don't understand why you can't do that same search for banned users on your following page.
I don't know, because they don't want you to be able to clean out your follow. It's fine. It doesn't matter. They don't want you to actually be able to clean that out. They don't want you to know how many accounts have been like lost over the years. The other thing is that since we don't just talk about TikTok, technically we are about all places where people make content on the internet.
Do I censor Reels?
I keep saying things like Reels fucking sucks. It continues to hold true. I have been heavily using Reels. It still has not figured out what anyone wants, and I'm at the point where I'm saying that it's on purpose.
Literally,
It's only
have I told you what I get when I go on Reels?
What?
I go on Reels once a week to upload my video that week.
Yeah.
And while it is loading, I see what Reels thinks is should be my For You page. It's dogs. It's just dogs. Dogs and dogs, dogs and dogs and dogs and dogs. I don't get any animal content on my TikTok feed because I don't like seeing animals.
See, here's the thing. I had this moment where I was like, am I just so obviously some dumb millennial dog mom that like the only content Reels will give me is dogs? So it's comforting to hear that someone else is just like, nope, straight dogs all the time.
Reels just really fucking stupid.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid, and it can't figure it out. And it feels like it's on purpose.
I have one more question about where do you access Reels? Do you access it through Instagram or through Facebook?
I mean, I understand it's the case you can access Reels through both.
I'm old, okay? I'm old, and
bold of you to assume that I have logged into Facebook in the past 4+ weeks.
Yeah, no, I log into Facebook for one reason. I log into Facebook for exactly one reason, and it is to check the spreadsheet that is the pinned image in the Facebook group Ask for PDFs from people with institutional access.
Mm-hmm.
Because the spreadsheet explains how to check for those PDFs in public databases before you have to ask strangers to get them for you.
I have some friends that still use it, and I log in and I see things that I didn't, and I'm like, well, too late to respond to that. It's been 3 weeks, and I move on.
Necro everything. I necroed a 12-year-old post.
No.
Yes.
No.
0.
Absolutely not. But this is accessing Reels on. I've done both because I've been playing around with it. Reels on Facebook is certainly more tuned into the pages that I follow on Facebook. And that is where I will get much more specific content. So when I post Reels, I say recommend my Reels on Facebook because that's where I get actual engagement from.
Okay.
Which is why
I definitely don't want to use Reels on Facebook now because like last time I was using Facebook, it was before I was quite as jaded about the internet leftism fandom as I am now. So I'm gonna get a lot of content from people I don't talk to anymore.
I went through at some point, maybe a year or two ago, and cleaned out all of the old stuff that I don't actually like anymore. And so it's
difference.
Huge difference.
Pretty sure I would leave every group other than Ask for PDFs from people with institutional access.
I've left almost every single group that exists.
Yes. I stay in those couple of weird ones. That I love the weird and wild secondhand finds page. Like it is one of the 2 reasons that I return to Facebook, other than to actually connect with my folks that will not move to another platform. I'm like, just move to anything else. And they're like, nah, it's like, it's only Facebook. And I'm like, all right.
Okay. I'm in the New York City. There's like a New York City housing market one where you just look at apartments and then everyone comments about how shitty that rent is. And it's a nice time for all of us because we all
I've been getting a lot of complaint videos on TikTok on my FYP about what's happening with New York rent. And I'm just kind of like,
Interesting. Doesn't affect me.
Yeah,
we have whole Facebook groups to complain about it. The realtors are like, that's too much. It's great.
The Reels that Facebook shows to me are viral TikToks.
Oh, 99% of the time. Yeah. Making content on Reels is interesting because it's good for longer. Like I get more consistent views over a course of days for a longer period of time. I'm still picking up views on a relatively old video. But the best Reels are just really good TikToks that people uploaded.
Well, and like it really likes to send me the cringe videos with the cooking people that do the dumb crap that I'm just like, I do not watch their content. I watch the people who are like not quite mocking them, but just questioning every step of the process. Like I like those videos. Like that's my
It hasn't picked up on the distinction between the criticism and the content. No.
Yes.
No.
I love this new lady that just picked it up too. Her tagline now is like, "Oh, everybody's so creative."
Did Cecilia freeze for you as well?
Yes.
Cool.
It's like very, very max headroom. Oh, are you back? You're back. Hi.
We're back. It hasn't.
You got as far as the in that sentence.
Okay. It hasn't picked up on the nuances of the animal videos that I will like versus animal videos I won't like, and every single animal video I won't like is one with a weird fucking sound, because Instagram Reels is populated by the worst possible fucking sound, and they are far enough behind on the trends that if you upload a sound that is popular on TikTok right now, the video won't do particularly well. But in 2 weeks,
Yep.
it's gonna go great.
On my private account, I still, like, on the occasion when I accidentally swipe through a couple reels after watching one of my friends' videos, I occasionally get videos that are, you remember the, like, it costs that much because it takes me fucking hours. I don't get that, but I get, like, many other songs that are clearly just ripoffs of that premise.
Yeah. It's every small business using that, making almost identical products to the last small business I saw using that same sound. That's just a ripoff of the other sound.
Yes.
Yeah, every resin product you've ever seen.
To be fair, I get a lot of resin products on TikTok.
Yeah, the algorithm knows I'm a dice goblin.
I get dice on TikTok. I don't get dice on Reels, and I've been trying to, because, like, that's a shiny object I'll look at forever.
Yes.
It could feed me that content, and I would actually be okay with that.
Especially if they put, like, hollow flakes in it. Like, yes.
Yeah, you make it put some glitter in there.
Did you see the one where they took that? Your sister is a witch. That sound, they took that sound and they printed it out and they put that into a set of dice.
I want to roll those. They feel cursed.
Like, I know. I saw that. If I find it again, I'll send it.
Is this about dice or?
No, they make, like, paperweights. There's nothing. They serve no use other than it's a pyramid of solid resin, and it's a decorative object. It is a tchotchke you can put in your home.
And they're pouring those?
Yeah.
Sometimes they put, like, little fairy scenes in them. I think those are kind of cool, but that's about it.
Yeah, but most of the time it's just stuff, resin. Yeah, it's just a sparkly lump of resin that has no use. They're already showing up in Salvation Armies, because I was complaining about it to my mother, and then she went to the Goodwill. Sorry, but she went. They're showing up in secondhand stores because my mom went to the Goodwill and took a picture, and she said, "Is this one of those things you were complaining about?" It's like, yeah. No.
Oh,
no.
God. No.
Highlight
Why?
it. Highlight it.
Why?
I feel like
eye bleach. Stat.
I feel like that can't possibly be the case, because, like, when you put water in resin, it causes it to burn.
What?
Water reacts really badly with resin. Like, you can't you can't mix a water-based pigment into resin. It will often overheat and burn, and usually, even if it, like, sets okay, like, will not fully set.
Oh. Thank you for the science I didn't know that I needed today.
Okay.
I truly appreciate that. Okay.
Specifically only seen it in the context of it going badly and being super ugly. Yeah.
I also still am remembering, like, those people that would sell, like, the bath water in small jars.
If you want to learn far more about resin than you need to know, I cannot recommend highly enough the YouTube channel Peter Brown. He just, like, he has a series called Dip It, where it's just him making like casting things in resin and making shit out of them. He made, like, a resin axe handle filled with gummy bears. He has made let's see, what are some of the other shit he made?
I just googled it. Dip It. I just googled Peter Brown Dip It, and the first thing that popped up was Dip It #1: bacon versus resin.
Well, now I'm hungry.
But, like, one of the series he does is he takes these, like, little, like, like kitchen chocolate molds, and we'll pour a bunch of different little resin objects using various household items as dye to see how well, like, because resin dye is really fucking expensive. And Ginger says, "Love Peter Brown. That man has the prettiest eyes." He does have very pretty eyes. But like, there's a lot of shit that you can find in your house that like actually makes pretty good resin dye.
Huh.
But like, one of the things is like when the shit is like mustard, it goes badly because mustard has water in it, and the resin doesn't set correctly.
Oh, a cotton ball? I'm very excited to learn too much about resin this evening. A face paint will work in it. I guess it's got to be an oil-based face paint versus a water-based face paint.
Are there water-based face paints?
The face paints that I use are basically like watercolors for your face, but they dry down so kids can touch their face and it doesn't smear.
I see.
Which is why I use it, because children can't not touch their fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
No, Blood. We have 4 minutes left in this stream. I understand. I already know about the large contingent of trans Snape theorists. I know too much about them because they came at me when I said that's a weird reading of Snape.
Also, just to catch you, Cecilia, up on what's going on in my life, I did make my fundraising goal last night, so I will be reading Homestuck with you because as soon as I agreed to it, it's going to be $25.
Wonderful.
Like, Blythe fully bought that.
Blythe, for additional context, I'm researching a new fiction-based religion that seems to be forming around Homestuck, and it does seem to be like a religion, not just like, oh my god.
I mean, is that even a pun? That's just like what Homestuck, like that's what the stuck in Homestuck means.
You're Homestuck with this. I saw that, Blythe, and thank you. But the whole it doesn't seem to be like a like practice where they're just like laying Homestuck characters on top of existing practices. It does appear to be like an actual developing religion, but in order to understand shit, I'm going to have to read Homestuck, which I did not do as Homestuck was being published, because I believe I read the first like release or like whatever the first like portion of it was, and then I saw how many more pages I had to go, and I was like, fuck this. This seems like a lot of effort for something I'm not sure about, and I stopped. So I maybe got 15 pages in of however many thousands.
Yeah, I think I got about 1,000 pages in, and it was less than a third at the time when I stopped, and it wasn't finished when I was reading it.
Oh my god. Cool. How many pages and or words is Homestuck? Nope. It's already holy.
Do you know about the Sharpie cosplay?
I'm not sure. That's one of those items again too where there's so many familiar words and I'm just like, but I do remember the bathwater person.
There are stories, and I can't remember who they were, but I know people who like have reasonably credible accounts that this is actually a true thing that happened. So one common thing in Homestuck cosplay is painting your skin gray to cosplay the trolls. And at one convention, I think it might have been DashCon, a Homestuck cosplayer decided to try to quickly handle the dyeing their or skin gray by pouring a bunch of vodka into a bathtub, dissolving some Sharpies in it, and then just getting in the tub.
Oh, that sounds like an A+ idea. I wonder why more people don't do that. Did they survive?
Oh yeah. No, they survived.
Okay.
They didn't die. As far as I know.
Yeah, I feel like if they had died, that would be definitely in the story.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Is ink poisoning a real thing? I don't think I've ever heard of an actual case of ink poisoning. I have only ever heard ink poisoning referenced as a way to tell children not to draw on themselves. Literally, like the pens they tell you not to do that with are used by prisoners to tattoo themselves. I don't think the ink is bad for you.
I think it was a way to keep me from expressing myself when I was 7 and I wanted to draw with gel pens all the way up my fucking arm. I think it was a conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean,
So, old person checking in for the hottest of seconds. They used to put like lead in ink.
Yeah,
And
but it's
that's
not
where the
anymore.
came from. That other than that, like no, I think it was just people didn't catch up with the modernization. Like we understood that we took the lead out of paint, but like nobody paid attention that we also took the lead out of ink. That's my
I'm
Also,
glad that one person out of the three of us is excited that we're
I know.
going to read Homestuck.
I just looked up the word count of Homestuck and it's 800,000 words. And then I looked up the word count of All the Young Dudes, a fan fiction that I regularly go back and read just for fun to make myself feel something. That's 500,000 words. So actually, I'm okay. This isn't that bad.
I have to read actual books.
I'm gonna have to read many actual plays in the coming months. I'm gonna have to, but
I know that you mean plays written by playwrights, but actual, like saying I'm going to have to read actual plays sounds a lot like you mean transcripts of D&D games.
yeah, I'm gonna have to read several hundred transcripts of many D&D games.
Just reading all. I wonder what the word count of like the transcription of all of any one season of Critical Role would be.
Don't want to think about it because that would be fucking. Do they have transcripts? Do they even have transcripts?
Probably. The fandom is kind of obsessive.
kind of.
I mean, I've seen more obsessive fandoms.
Oh, okay. All right. So on the spectrum of it. Got it.
Oh wait, no. The episodes are captioned on YouTube, and you can open the transcript on YouTube. So yeah, there are definitely accessible transcripts for all of Critical Role.
Oh, that's good.
But also there is a website that is just called Critical Role linkable transcripts.
Nice.
Where it lets you search for events in the transcripts and then link to directly the spot in the transcript where that thing happens.
Yeah, right. That's useful.
Yeah, I feel like of the things that are likely to give you some sort of poisoning in that bath, alcohol poisoning is the more likely one.
Much more likely. It's the vodka that's actually concerning.
Right.
On that note, it is 9:03.
Thank you everybody for coming. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.